Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video we are going to be making what I'm calling non-traditional coasters. They're very easy to make, they're a lot of fun, and you can pretty much just use things that you have laying around. So let me show you what I mean. Basically for this tutorial you're going to need two different colors for the yarn. The brown in today's video will be the main color, and then some other color. I'm just, as you can see, using the remnants of skeins of yarn that I've used in the past. You will need a tapestry darning weaving needle, pair of scissors, crochet hook obviously, and then some pipe cleaners. Yes, pipe cleaners. Told you we're gonna have fun. The way it will work is that you'll need one pipe cleaner per coaster. So if you're making 4 coasters, then you're going to need 4 pipe cleaners. Let's get to it. So we're going to start out by taking your one pipe cleaner and just kind of forming a circle. Then kind of once you have the size of your circle, you're going to wrap the pipe cleaner around itself, okay, to kind of just make it one, and just do the same thing with the other side, the other end of the pipe cleaner. One thing to note is that the diameter of the circle should be smaller than the diameter of whatever cup you're going to be placing on it. So for example, I have my coffee right here, and you can see that the base of the mug, that circle, the diameter is bigger, okay? That's what you want, or it won't work all that well as a coaster. Alright, so now that we have our pipe cleaner into a circle and we've wrapped the tails around itself, now we're going to move on to attaching some yarn to this. So we're going to take our main color, for me it's the brown, and I'm just going to feed it through like that, and I'm going to do it over the part where I did the wrapping of the pipe cleaner around itself. I'm just going to tie a little knot. So one, and then let's tie another one just to make sure it's secure. 2. Now I'm going to start crocheting single crochets around this ring. So the way I'm going to do it is I have my crochet hook. I'm going to lay this tail on top of the pipe cleaner so that I crochet over it while I'm going around creating my stitches. But you're going to take your crochet hook, insert it into the circle, grab the yarn, pull it through to the front like that, and then we're going to chain 1 like that. Okay, so that further secures it. Now we're just going to add single crochets all around. So go into the circle, yarn over, pull through to the front like that, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Do it again. Go into the circle, yarn over, pull through to the front. Notice I'm crocheting over the tail that's laying on the pipe cleaner. Okay, and here's the tail right there, so just kind of lay it back down and hold it down. And then I have 2 loops, so yarn over and go through 2, 1, 2. Okay, go back into the circle, yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops. Make sure you're crocheting over that tail. Okay, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2. Back in, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2. And then as you crochet more and more around, just kind of slide the stitches down. You want them to kind of bunch up so that you don't see much of the pipe cleaner. Okay, you don't want that blue peeking through. And if you can't eliminate all of the blue peeking through, don't worry, we have a solution for that I'll show you at the end of the video. Okay, So yeah, just continue making single crochets along your pipe cleaner, and I will meet you once you eliminate all signs of the pipe cleaner, meaning once you get enough single crochets on your circle to pretty much eliminate all signs of the pipe cleaner. Just continue adding single crochet stitches, okay? And every so often, don't forget to slide them over and bunch them. Make sure they're all facing the right way, but just bunch them so that you can cover as much of that blue as possible, okay? I'll see you once you get back around here. Alright, so this is what I have so far. I don't know how many single crochets I ended up with. I just crocheted enough to get me back around, and every so often, maybe after 5 or 6 single crochets, I pushed them back to scrunch them up to cover the blue. So you want to make enough single crochets so that your pipe cleaner is not really showing through. That being said, if the pipe cleaner does show through, you can't, get them to move the way you want to. Don't panic, because like I said, I'm going to show you a trick later on to still conceal it, okay? And one more thing before we move on, a little tip for you is once you get to the part, the part where you're twisting the pipe cleaner around itself, so you got to that edge where you can actually feel the metal there. Once you get to that part and you start crocheting your single crochets, make sure that you make enough single crochets in that group, in that session, if you will, so that when you finally do bunch them, they're covering that part where the metal is, okay? Do you know what I mean? So, for instance, say you get to the metal part right here, and then you only crochet 2 single crochets, and then you push them back, right? That metal right there is still going to be exposed because when you scrunched it, it exposed it again, okay? Versus getting to the metal and then crocheting, let's say, 10 single crochets, and then when you scrunch it, it's still being hidden within the stitch, okay? So when you get to the metal part, the part where you can feel the end of one end of the pipe cleaner where you've wrapped them around each other, just make sure that you crochet a whole bunch of single crochets before you scrunch them so that it's nice and buried within the stitches, and then you don't have to worry about it sticking through, okay? Alright, so moving on to the next round, we're going to bypass that first chain stitch that we made and just slip stitch into the first single crochet there, okay? So we're bypassing the chain 1 and going into the top of that first single crochet, and we're going to slip stitch like that. Now we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Now we're going to go down here, and we slip stitched into this one. We're going to skip that next one, and we're going to slip stitch into that right there. Okay, so that, skip that, and go into the next single crochet thereafter, and slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through, and then pull all the way through. Okay, and then we have this. We'll do it again. Chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if we kind of spread it a little bit, you'll see, okay, that's there. Skip that one and go to this one right here and slip stitch into that one. Yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, and then go all the way through like that. Okay. Chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Go down in here. So we have that one. And then we're going to skip that one and we're going to work into this one. So that, skip, and work in that one, and slip stitch. Okay, and it's going to create this nice little ruffle. Okay, so I want you to do this all the way around. So basically you slip stitch and then you chain 5, you skip a stitch and you go into the next one and then slip stitch into that next one, and just chain 5 again and repeat the process. So do that, and I'm going to meet you back around here. Alright, so I'm nearing the end, so I thought I'd pop back on just to make sure you guys are following along okay and doing it correctly. So I just slip stitched. I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go down and look what stitch I'm in. I'm in that one, so I skip that one and I slip stitch into that one right there. So I'm in that one, skip, slip stitch into that one right there. And just finish slip stitching it. Okay, now I chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then, so look where I'm at. I'm in that one. I skip that one, and then I'm going to slip stitch into that right there. So just insert my hook, yarn over, pull through to the front. 2 loops, 1, 2, and then because it's a slip stitch, I don't yarn over again. I just go all the way through like that. Okay. Now I'm going to cut my yarn, and then I'm going to grab my other color, bring that in just here, and I'm going to hook this new color onto the hook like that, pull it through like that. Now I'm going to hold the tail of the new color and find the tail that I just cut and pull on it, and then I'll pull down like that. Just pull on the brown tail or whatever your main color is like that, so it disappears. Alright, so now I'm going to tie a knot between this tail, the new color, and the brown color tail. Okay, so let's tie a knot. See better. Alright, so 1, and let's tie another one, 2. Alright, let's cut these tails down. We're not going to try to crochet over them because we're just working with chain stitches and it doesn't work well, so just cut the tails down. Alright, so now we're working with the new color, and we're on the next round. And for this round, instead of chaining 5, we're going to chain 6. Okay, so get my yarn set up and out of the way, and now let's chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this time, instead of slip stitching into the tops of the stitches, we're going to just slip stitch into the center of this half circle. Okay, so just the center. So let me show you. So right here we have this half circle. Basically we're just going to go into the hole like that, yarn over, pull through to the front, and then slip stitch all the way through like that. Okay, let's do it again. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now from this one we go to this one. So open it up insert our hook, yarn over, pull through to the front, 2 loops, and then slip stitch. Okay. Then we chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now from this loop we go to this one. Insert our hook into that hole, yarn over, pull through to the front, and go all the way through. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we go from this one to this one. Insert our crochet hook and yarn over, pull through to the front, and slip stitch. Like that. Okay? So we're just going to keep doing this all the way around, and I'll meet you there. Alright, so we're almost done now. We're going to chain 6 as we have one more loop to work into. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to go from this one to this one, slip stitch into it, so yarn over, pull through to the front, and then pull all the way through. And actually I told a slight fib. We're going to make one more going from here to there. So let's chain 6 one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then right in there, that same space, we're going to slip stitch. So let me show you again. Enter that, yarn over, pull through. So you have 2 loops and then slip stitch. Okay. Now we're going to chain 1, cut our yarn, and fasten off like that. Okay. On this side, you can take a smaller crochet hook or you can use the same one. Smaller is always easier though. It gets into the stitches more easily. And just go into the stitch like that, yarn over, pull through, leaving a loop, and then yarn over one more time, chain, and pull all the way through, creating a little knot right there. Now we'll cut that all the way down. Okay. And this is what you have. You have this really cool coaster. Now I know you might be thinking, well, it has a hole in it. Isn't that defeating the purpose of a coaster? Well, not really, because as long as the base of the cup is not touching the table, which it won't be because we made sure that this diameter was smaller than the diameter of the cup, which means the cup will fit around this part, then it's fine. Now, I told you that I would show you a little trick just in case there was blue showing through here. And I did such a good job this time that there is no blue. There is none of that pipe cleaner showing through here. So let me grab the other one I made earlier where I used the orange pipe cleaner, and you'll see some orange poking through, and I'll show you what to do with that. Be right back. Alright, so here's a perfect example. See right there where the orange is peeking through? That's the pipe cleaner that I used. So what we're going to do is use this tapestry darning weaving needle, and we're going to take some of that brown yarn. I just cut a little piece, okay? And we are going to feed it through the eye of the weaving needle here, like that. we'll tie a little knot, not super tight, just kind of leave it like that. And then we're going to go back in there like that. Okay. Now we're gonna tie a knot here. So just tie one knot, not too tight. And then we're gonna rotate this so that it's coming, so that it's showing on the back side like that. See how you can't see it in the front anymore? It's now in the back. And now we'll tie that second knot just to make sure it's secure. Like that. Now, you see our yarn is coming from the back. So now we're gonna just go in and out of the stitches, filling the gaps. So I see a little bit of orange right there, so I'm gonna go in there, stick my needle through there, and pull. And try to cover up the orange that was there. Alright, and now I did. It's not there anymore. Alright, bring the needle back to the front and look for the next spot. Well, the next orange that's showing is there, so I'm going to go in there and pull. And don't pull tight initially, okay? You want to kind of control where the yarn, how it lays, so that it covers the orange where you want it to cover it, okay? So that's that. Bring your needle back to the front, and then there's orange there, right there. So let's go over in that area and pull it like that, and kind of shape it, rotate it, however, do whatever you need to do to get it to cover the orange. And this might happen to you. The yarn came out of the needle because I didn't leave much of a tail there, and I only tied one knot, so I'm gonna leave more of a tail, and I'm gonna tie 2 knots. So one, it's not gonna be tight either, and then 2. Alright, that should hold better. Alright, so now picking back up where I left off, that's the next spot that's showing orange. So I'm bring my needle forward through the circle, go above that, and pull it to the back and cover that orange. There we go. Bring the needle forward. That's the next piece of orange that's showing, so go above that, pull it to the back, and cover that. There we go. Alright. There's a little piece of orange right there, so bring the needle forward and go above that to the back like that. Close the loop and kind of rotate it, adjust it so it's where you want it, okay? And so on and so forth, okay? And then you can kind of rotate them to make sure that there are no orange peeking through, and obviously I could do more of this, but you guys get the point, okay? So that's just a little trick that you can use to cover the pipe cleaner if you didn't do a good job initially. So yeah, try to do a good job initially so that you have less work to do at the end. Now, in terms of how to finish this, well, you could take your yarn and your needle and weave it through the stitches in the back to get over to where you started, which is right here where this tail is. That's the benefit of working with a darning tapestry weaving needle. Alright, and then we'll cut our yarn. And we're going to tie a couple of knots with these two tails that remain. So 1, 2, and now we'll cut these down. And this is the back of the coaster, so it doesn't matter anyway. Okay. And now you see that orange that was around there is gone. Like I said, I could continue working on it, but you guys get the point. And it doesn't show when you put your cup on it. Okay, so I can rotate this around and you don't see any orange. It's there, a little bit there, right? But nope. So this is the tutorial, okay? How to make a beautiful, non-traditional, open base crochet coaster. Okay, and the thing I like about these is that they add a certain amount of decor. So it's like whether or not you have a mug there, they look awesome just sitting there. And then they also serve the added purpose of a coaster. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. This is just something that I thought of this morning and thought that I would make a tutorial on it. I thought it would be fun, and I thought it could be something that you could quickly do to kind of give your home a little bit more character, if you will. That is going to be it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, happy crocheting.